Women ask this to seduce you, but most men miss it. Sometimes, when a woman wants to seduce you, she doesn't wear red lipstick or slide into your lap. She asks you a question. It might sound casual, playful, even friendly, but beneath that surface is an invitation, one most men completely overlook. And when they do, she moves on, or worse, assumes you're not that kind of guy. In this video, we're exposing 12 questions women ask when they're trying to seduce you, but most men miss the signals because they're not shaped like typical flirtation. These questions are designed to create sexual tension, test your emotional presence, and open a portal to intimacy, all without her having to say a single overt word. Let's get into it. 1. Are you always this calm? She asks this with a curious smile, usually after something mildly chaotic, a late arrival, an awkward joke, a tense moment. She studies your face like she's trying to see if it's a mask. Why does she ask? Because calm isn't just sexy. It's arousing, especially in a world of overstimulated, reactive men. What she's really asking is, can I unravel in front of you and still feel safe? Will you stay grounded when I get messy? Do you stay composed, even in bed? She's not just asking about your temperament. She's testing your capacity for intensity, the kind that carries over when things get heated between the sheets. Miss that cue, and she boxes you as nice but boring. Catch it, and answer with playful composure. And suddenly, you're the man she can picture undressing slowly, not just emotionally, but literally. 2. Do you always smell this good? She says it with a half laugh, maybe a slight lean in. It seems like a compliment. It's not. It's a gateway. What she's really doing is inviting a conversation about your body, the way it feels, smells, exists in physical space. Most men just say thanks and awkwardly change the subject. But the man who holds eye contact and says, "You noticed that?" or "Good to know it's working on you," opens the door she just cracked open. This question is her way of saying, I'm paying attention to how close I want to get. I'm already imagining being near you. Your body is not invisible to me. If you're present enough to read that, she won't forget how you made her feel, or how she started wanting more. 3. Do you ever get in trouble? This one slips out when she's feeling playful, but slightly dangerous. Maybe you said something bold. Maybe your humor was a little dark. Maybe you just didn't filter yourself the way other guys do. She pauses, tilts her head, smirks. Do you ever get in trouble? She's not asking if you got detention in school. She's asking, are you the kind of man who lives with edge? Can you hold chaos and enjoy it? Are you someone I could lose control with, just a little? It's seductive because it teases at breaking rules together. Not necessarily moral ones, physical ones, social ones, late night ones. Handle it right. Say, only when it's worth it. And you've just built erotic intrigue with 8 words. Pause for a moment. If you're not just chasing women but building yourself into someone women chase, comment magnet. I respect that energy. 4. Would you tell me if I looked better with nothing on? It's wrapped in self-deprecation or humor. She's trying on clothes. She makes a face in the mirror. And then, be honest, do I look better with this off? It's not really about the outfit. She's watching your face when she says it, watching for the flicker of desire, of heat, of tension. Most guys play it safe. They give a polite laugh or pivot the conversation, but this is her saying, I'm already imagining myself naked around you. I'm inviting you to flirt back, gently, not grossly. I want to feel your eyes on me without fear. A well-timed smirk, a pause, and a low. That depends on how much trouble you're trying to cause, and she won't be thinking about the outfit anymore. 5. Have you ever crossed a line and liked it? She asks this out of nowhere. Late night, maybe over drinks, maybe after a moment of shared eye contact that lasts a little too long. And suddenly, what's the most inappropriate thing you've done and didn't regret? She's not asking for a criminal confession. She's fishing. Not for facts, for flavor. She wants to know, are you still polite when it's dark? Do you know how to break the rules with charm? Will I feel thrilled or afraid if I say yes to you? This question is an indirect seduction tactic, because if you answer with edge, but control, she starts seeing you not as a boy, but as a man who knows how to handle her when she's at her most unpredictable. 6. What's your biggest turnoff? This one sounds innocent, like a casual dating app convo starter. But it's not. She's not trying to rule herself out. She's trying to figure out how high your standards go. Because a man with low standards is easy to seduce, and not in a way that makes her crave him. She wants to be chosen by someone who's not impressed by everyone. The twist? When she asks what turns you off, she's not looking for the answer. She's watching how deliberately you give it. If you say bad energy or people who don't care about stuff, she forgets you in an hour. But if you say people who can't hold silence or have no self-control, now she's leaning in. Because now she has to wonder, can I meet that bar? Could I be the one who makes him lose it? Just once? That's where seduction blooms. Not in being liked, but in wanting to be the exception. 7. Are you this intense with everyone? She might ask this after a moment of eye contact that lingers just a breath too long, after a conversation where she felt seen, not just heard, after a joke that landed too well. She's blushing, flustered, curious, and a little bit challenged. The real question she's asking? Am I special? Or do you make every woman feel this way? Is this connection real? Or is this just how you move? And even deeper, if I give in to what I'm feeling right now, am I falling into a trap or stepping into something rare? How you respond here matters. If you say only with the ones who matter, or better yet, just smile and don't answer, you let the charge hang in the air. And that silence, that mystery, it does more to seduce her than any compliment ever could. 8. Have you ever had a connection that felt kind of dangerous? She won't say it with a sultry voice. It usually comes out soft, like she's revealing a secret. She'll add something like, that feeling where you know it's probably a bad idea, but you still don't want to stop talking to them. Now here's where most guys fumble. They try to turn it into therapy. Oh yeah, I had this one toxic ex. Or, yeah, but I stay away from that kind of thing now. What she's actually asking is, would you follow desire even if it wasn't safe? Could I lose myself with you and still trust you to hold it? This isn't about your past. It's about whether you're bold enough to feel alive with her. If you answer with something like, I think the best things are always a little dangerous. You've just told her, yes, I could ruin you in all the best ways, but I'd enjoy every second of it. And that puts you in her fantasy file. 9. Why are you looking at me like that? Let's be clear. She knows why. She knows exactly what she's doing when she asks. This is not a real question. It's an invitation. She caught you looking, but instead of calling you out, she calls you in. She's handing you a moment of tension and seeing what you'll do with it. Most guys panic. They look away, apologize, joke it off. Wrong move. She's not uncomfortable. She's curious. This is the kind of question that pulls craving out of hiding. She's wondering, what was he thinking just now? Was it innocent? Or was it dirty? Would he say it out loud if I asked him to? The right response? You hold the tension. You smile, slowly. Maybe say, just trying to figure out what you'd do if I didn't stop. Now she's flustered. And now you're in her head long after you've walked away. 10. Do I make you nervous? Here's where things get real. This question usually comes at the peak of a flirt-heavy conversation, when the banter's been electric, the looks have lingered, and the space between you has turned liquid. And then, with a quiet pause and a mischievous tilt of her head, she hits you with, do I make you nervous? She's not being cocky. She's testing your center. She wants to know, can you handle my feminine power without shrinking? Do I overwhelm you or turn you on? A weak man will stutter, joke, or say, psh, no. A man she craves? He meets her gaze and says, only in the ways that matter. Or even better, doesn't say anything, just smirks and lets the silence thicken. Now she knows. You're not intimidated by her fire. You're here to play with it. 11. Are you good with your hands? It comes out of nowhere. Maybe during a conversation about fixing something, cooking, drawing, whatever. But her tone changes. Her eyes linger. This is one of the oldest seduction tests in the book. She's not interested in whether you can tighten a bolt. She's asking, do you have physical confidence? Could you touch me like you mean it? Is your sensuality grounded in your body or all in your head? Men who don't get it will answer like a job interview. Yeah, I built my own desk once. Men who do get it, they lean in and say, want to find out? Then pause, and then don't clarify. Why? Because not knowing is the fun part. 12. What would you do if we were alone right now? This question is the most direct of all, but still cloaked in what-if energy to give her plausible deniability. It might come during a late-night text. It might be after drinks, in a quiet corner, when her voice drops a little. What would you do if we were alone right now? Let's break this down for what it is. This is not a flirty game. This is her saying, I want to know what it would feel like to be wanted by you. I want to feel that hunger in your words, but only if it's controlled. I want to imagine what you'd do, before I let you do it. Men often answer too aggressively, trying to sound dominant. That's a mistake. This question requires restraint. Try something like, I'd probably sit closer. Let the silence stretch. See how long you'd last before breaking it. Then don't say more. Let her imagination run wild. Let her fill in the blanks. That's not just how seduction begins. That's how it lingers,